There is a place that is above all others, a place where dreams are chased above the clouds, a place where only the strong and lucky survive. The top of the world, where the wind is fiercest, is a desolate, deathly place where humans cannot live. Every breath burns the lungs like cold fire. Many have died there on the mountain known as Everest. As the climbers go higher, they risk altitude sickness. But if they ascend gradually, the body adjusts on its own to the low oxygen level. It's called acclimatizing. The number of red blood cells doubles, so the blood can carry more oxygen. Just surviving at 29,000 feet is a challenge in light of this medical fact. A person taken directly from sea level to the top of Mount Everest would be unconscious in a few minutes and dead soon thereafter.
Several times a day at base camp, you hear the roar of an avalanche. "150 people have died on Everest. About a third of them have been killed by avalanches." In the icefall, we use ladders a lot, which can take a little getting used to.
I like to get my falling done early, because later on, I don't like to fall again. When you look down, you wonder how deep is that crevasse. Well, I don't want to find out. The Sherpa said that if you fall in the crevasse, you will fall all the way to America.
After we climb through the icefall, we head towards middle camp, where we spend a few weeks acclimatizing. If you go too high too soon, you risk getting edema, which is where your lungs begin to fill with fluid, and that can kill you.
At middle camp, the climbers must begin to drink more water. High on Everest, there is nothing to breathe. There is only a third as much oxygen in each breath as there is at sea level. Most climbers need bottled oxygen up here. but not Ed.
You stagger along. Every ounce of energy is sucked from your muscles. You just can't get enough air. This is what it must feel like to drown. The sun rose, but whenever I stopped to wait for the others, I got cold, so I had to move on. The human body is not built to survive up here. It screams at you to turn around and go back.
It took all my strength and concentration just to put one foot in front of the other. I've never been so tired in my life. Sometimes I want to sit down in the snow and rest, but I told myself 10 more steps, and I keep going and going.
The wind begins to sound like drums in the monastery, but maybe that's just the blood pounding in my brain. As the pain gets worse, I feel that I'm closer to death than I've ever been without passing over to the other side.
Then Ed came down from the summit and gave us a small hug. He told us the summit was not far.
After 12 hours of climbing, I had to really force myself to concentrate. There's a drop-off of over a mile on either side of the ridge.
There were only 100 meters left, but they were the longest 100 meters I did in my life.
After 9 long weeks on the mountain, they made it. And Araceli Segarra became the first Spanish woman to reach the top of the world.